Howdy guys, lovely to see you all again. We're going to be looking at the second Delicious and the main solo from Revolution Is My Name by Pantera. It is an absolute doozy. Let's take a look. Alright guys, before we get too excited, we just need to talk about the tuning. We're in D standard, but the weird thing about this situation is we'll be tuning to 4/28 cents. So the D standard tuning will be D, G, C, F, A, D. But just make sure that you've got your tuner ready to go to 4/28 cents. Anyway, let's have a look at this solo. Alright guys, solo 2. Let's have a look at the first section. This is going to be very similar to the first chunk of the first solo we looked at, but it has a slight variation at the end. So if you remember what we had this little riff. That's the same, then we go. Okay, so that's all the same. So the next part of this riff, we're going to steal the front of it, which was this part. Sorry. But from this point, the final run is a little bit different. So we'll go through this slowly together, and then we'll put it all together from the start of the section. We're going to start off with the same starting two notes from 2 of the 6th string. We're going to do the 4/2/4 on the 4th string as a pull off into an extra pick, and then I've got what I'm doing here is I'm playing 6/7 6/7 again, like what we had before. And remember how we had that weird position shift? So we had. Now the thing about this one is the second time I hit the 7, I'm going to slide into 9. At the end of that, I just resolve it back to 7. So it's just that slight variation instead of having that bend. I'm going to put the whole section together from the start, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. Relatively simple and similar to what we had last time. One more time with some tabs. Alright, let's have a look at the second section. I'm going to slide into 7 of the 4th string. And then I'm going to do a slide from 5/4 on the 3rd. And then I slide from 5/3 on the 4th string. There's a lot of sliding. At the end of that, I'm going to do a hammer on from 2/3 on the 4th string and jump to 3 of the 5th. This is what we should have thus far. Then I work into just a basic bluesy phrase in A minor. If we're in standard tuning, it's technically G now, isn't it? Let's slow that down. I'm sliding into 7 of the 4th. And then I'm going to play 5/7 on the 3rd, but bend the 7. Okay, from that point I go into a flat finger riff where I'm playing the 2nd, the 1st, and then the 2nd string again. At the end of that, I'm playing a bend on 8 of the 2nd string twice. We can just hold that second one for a little bit longer and add some sassy vibrato if we want. Alright, let's go right back to the start of the section, and then we'll add the next chunk to it. Okay, then I work into this phrase. It's exactly the same thing 3 times, and there's a bit of extra craziness at the end of that. I've got rolling legato playing 8/7/5 on the 1st string, and then I'm going to play 8 of the 2nd and then 5 of the 1st, and then I'm going to do a bend on 8 of the 2nd and then play 5 of the 1st. So it'll go. Play that one more time a bit slower. And I'm going to play that exact same phrase, ending on 5 of the 1st string. We're going to play that 3 times in a row. At the end of the third group, I'm going to do 5 more bends from the 8th fret of the 2nd string, and then playing 5 afterwards. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. So that's how I would think of it, as the bends would be the on beat, and then on the backstroke off beat when I'm playing the 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. So I'll play that all back to back. Hopefully that's all making sense. And then I work into this phrase. So that last chunk, still in the A minor pentatonic, I'm doing 2 triplets in a row. I'm doing a pull off from 8 to 5 on the 2nd string and jumping to 7 of the 3rd. And then I'm going to play 5 of the 2nd, 7 of the 3rd, and 5 of the 2nd, and that's going to be my 2nd triplet. Back to back. At the end of that. What I've got here is just rolling legato from the 3rd string. I'm playing 8, 7, 5 on the 3rd, jumping to 7 of the 4th, and then resolving that on 5 of the 3rd string. So we'll go from the triplets and then the rolling legato. And that's all of section 2. Let's go through it slowly from the start, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, third section, we're going to start off a little bit exotic. I'm going to do a pull off from 9 to 8 on the 4th and then pick 9 again. And then jump to 6 of the 3rd string. I'm going to do a very similar idea now. Keeping it exotic, I'm playing 7, 6, 7 as a pull off with an extra pick on the 3rd string. And then I jump to 6 of the 2nd string. So we should have 2 groups of 4 now. At the end of that, what I've got here is 2 notes and then a hammer on with an extra sort of pick note at the end. So I've got, let's slow that down. I'm playing 7 to 6 on the 2nd string, then hammering 7 to 8, and then I want to pluck 7 again on the 2nd string. Let's have a look at it from the start now. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this phrase. Alright, let's slow that down. I'm going to start off with this phrase. What I'm doing here is hammering 7, 8, pulling off 7, 6, and we're going to be working through groups of 4, much the same as in the first, if you remember in the first solo, that little cheeky number there. So as soon as we finish that first little chunk, we'll be working in groups of just sort of descending 4s. So we're going to have this at the start, at the end of that. So what I'm going to do here is a pull off from 7 to 6 on the 2nd, jumping to 9 of the 3rd, and then back to 6 of the 2nd again. So I've got, at the end of that, I'm going to do that exact same phrase again, which was 7, 6 on the 2nd, 9 of the 3rd, and then back to the 6th again. So that's going to occur twice. At the end of that, I'm going to play 9, 7, 6 on the 3rd string and then play 9 of the 4th. You can do a full legato if you want to. You can add in an extra pick there on the middle finger. It's hard to know what feels more natural. I think it's just a matter of experimenting and what feels correct to you guys. So I'll do that one more time and then we'll add the second half of that leg. Okay, now the next bit is relatively straightforward. Working down the scale in groups of 4. I'm going to do a pull off from 7 to 6 on the 3rd and then play 9, 7 on the 4th. I then backtrack to the pointer finger on 6 of the 3rd string and I'm going to play 9, 7, 6 on the 4th. So those 2 new groups of 4 back to back. Okay, the next bit, I'm going to play 9, 7, 6 on the 4th string and play 9 of the 5th. And then to finish it off, cheeky pull off here from 7 to 6 on the 4th and ending on 9, 7 on the 5th. So we're going to have Hopefully that's making sense. So we're going to go from the big run, and then we'll go right back to the start of the section. All right, let's go right back to that little pull-offy lick we had at the start. We'll do it all again relatively slowly, and then again even slower with some tabs. Sorry. One more time with some tabs. All right, last chunk. This has got a bit of an Iron Man vibe to it. You'll hear it when I play it. Kind of cheeky blues. So it's kind of in C sharp minor. If you're in standard tuning, I'm playing 9 of the 6th string and then playing 7 of the 5th. And then after that, slightly different rhythms, but the notes and frets are very, very similar. I'm playing 9, 10, 11 on the 5th and the 4th string. At the end of that, doing a cheeky note on, what's that? 9 of the 3rd string. At the end of that, what I've got here is 2 bends from the 11th fret of the 3rd string, but then at the end of the 2nd bend, I'm going to bend it down. At the end of that, 9, 11, 9 is just regular pick notes on the 3rd, and it's sort of straight quarter or crotchet triplets. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far. After that, I work into this freaky diminished arpeggio thing that's got the bends in it. So once you get the lick, I mean, we're just dragging it up minor thirds or 3 frets at a time. So it's not that difficult once you have it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off from 9 of the 1st string. You have a cheeky slide in if you want that spooky vibe. Playing 9 to 6 and then jumping to 8 of the 2nd string. And then I want to jump to 10 of the 3rd string, and I'm going to do a bend here, and then play 8 of the 2nd string again, and then end on the bend. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we include those bends, we're going to have 6 notes, and that's going to repeat over sort of 3 jumps of minor thirds. It's going to repeat twice. We're going to have 3 altogether. I'm going to take that exact same idea, but start from 12 of the 1st string, back to 9, 11 of the 2nd string, and then the bendy bit from 13, jumping back to 11. Back to back. Then I jump up to 15 of the 1st string, and I'm going to play 15, 12, 14 of the 2nd string, and then my bends from 16 and jumping back to 14. At the end of that, what I've got here is a bend from 16 of the 1st string, and there's also a minor third harmony on that as well, which makes it extra evil and diminished. So this is what we should have of just that last chunk. We'll put it right back together with that cheeky Iron Man start as well. All right, let's go right back to the start of the section. Do it again relatively slowly, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the second delicious solo from Revolution Is My Name by Pantera. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check the links in the description box to my Learn That Solo fan page on Facebook. Check out my Patreon. There's some cool little perks there. And if you guys want to check out my mode course on Udemy, that would be most delightful. Anyway, I'll catch you guys all very soon.